Hey kindergarten, today off of the supply table you're going to get one messy paper, you're going to get one sheet of folded paper, and one paintbrush. Just like with every other project, we always start by putting our name on the back of our sheet of paper. Mr. Calvert, either K-A, B, or C. Flip it over. And the first thing we're going to do is we are going to use the oil pastels at our table to make a pattern on half of our sheet of paper. So remember, a pattern is something that repeats over and over. So maybe I want to do a pattern of lines, or a pattern of shapes, or a pattern of colors. Take your time. You have plenty of time today to make a beautiful pattern. So I'm doing an angled line. I'm going to put a little polka dot to go with that angled line. Maybe I'll do some squares, and I'm going to put some circles in between those squares with another color. Actually, I'm going to do triangles. So I did green square, red triangle, green square, red triangle, green square, red triangle. Now I'm going to repeat that, because remember, we're working on patterns. And actually, I think I'm going to color in my shapes. So I did my lines with polka dots. I did these shapes. I think I'm actually going to color them in, so I have a little bit more color. Alright, after I am done using oil pastels and painting or drawing an amazing pattern, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose one color, alright, only one, and I'm going to open it. If the whole top comes off, please let me know and I'll put it back in. And once again, I want to emphasize that I only did pattern on half of my sheet of paper, and notice I left this half blank. Then you're going to take your paintbrush, you're going to carefully dip it in the paint, and you are going to paint over that pattern that you had. Carefully painting over it. Depending on what color you use, you might see your pattern through it. And once again, I'm only painting half of it. I'm not going to paint that bottom half of my sheet of paper. That's going to be my table. The final thing that I need to do after I've drawn my pattern and after I've painted over it is I also have a couple texture makers at your table. You can pick one and make a texture, right? So you could just scrape it along it. You might want to do like a zigzag or an angle. Maybe I'll do something like this. And you can see that it actually scrapes away some of that paint and leaves a texture on it. It also shows some of the pattern underneath. I think I'm going to do a little bit more. So I'm going to use my other one. Maybe I'll go like this. So I'm just scraping. Alright, these can go back in the tray. This can go at the bottom of the drying rack. And of course, my paintbrush goes in the dirty brush bin. Start with the pattern, paint, and then use your paint scrapers to add a texture to your artwork.